Let's go. We'd like to begin the ceremony, so please come on up front to take a seat. If you want to talk, please head to the rear of the building. Wow. That was pretty good. Thank you. So first up, I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm going to ask Dom Starzia, who has graciously been our chair for the Legends Group for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's a lifetime appointment, and he's going to come up and welcome everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, and welcome to Lake Placid 2022. Always a special time in all of our lives, and today an especially thankful day. You know, we just being here. You may have seen we had a 70-plus game that was being played just before the ceremony here tonight. As far as I know, the quality of the play was as good as it ever was in my lifetime. So to be here for the Legends ceremony, which is always a special treat. And then we had an occurrence on our field in the second game, the 65 and over guys. One of our players went down, heart stopped on the field. We were blessed to have a couple of doctors on our team that were right on top of it. The referee was right on top of it. The trainers here, the Lake Placid trainers, everybody that was involved brought him back around, and he was talking to people as they were getting him in the ambulance on his way out, and so an especially special thank you. Thanks to everybody that was involved with that. It was, took your breath away standing there watching it unfold. My dear friend Dave White, who I've played with forever, actually Dave White and Steph Russo and I played together. It was 50 years ago when we first started playing at Brown, and this is in 1972. Here we are in 2022. My special friend Dave White used to always say, when I was inducted into this organization a few years back, he said, lacrosse has always been Dom's good medicine, and it really has been. And I think we probably all feel the same way. And this is a special place for us, and what we're involved doing here and just being here, I think it is special for all of us. When I got involved, when George asked me to get involved, we were trying to make this Legends group into kind of a living, breathing group. And so to our new inductees, I would tell you that we try to communicate on a regular basis throughout the year. We ask people for a modest contributions, which people are more than happy to do. And we have, over the years, we have made contributions to the Cancer Society in the name of one of the Legends teammates that we lost, Charlie Hardigan. We've done to the Lake Placid Rescue Squad, seems very relevant today. Harlem Lacrosse, Casey Powell's World Lacrosse Foundation. We make a long-term commitment to the Haudenosaunee Youth National Development Group, and this year to the Adirondack Foundation's Special and Urgent Need Fund, which assists Adirondack communities in time of crisis. We also make some other contributions, smaller contributions. We make some smaller contributions to more local groups, and we're really happy to do that and try to do a little good. Support of these organizations aligns closely with the fellowship and goodwill that we all feel as we come together here in August in Lake Placid. And I appreciate very much being here. And with that, I'll turn it over to our fearless leader, George Lavelle.
Thank you, Dom. It's wonderful to be here tonight. 32 years into this. The highs and lows are pretty incredible. And this is about life, and it's also about death. And we celebrate those who have been here all these years, and life and death happens. But today, saving a life, I got to tell you, first of all, I would like to ask our trainers to stand up who are here. Wow. Dave Corson here. Where's Dave Corson? Is he here? I also want to thank our operations team for clearing the way, opening the gates, getting people out of the way, running the logistics to get them in and out of there. So thank you to all those guys. So I'd like to ask our trainers to please stand up. Please stand up so I can identify you. Trainers, athletic trainers. Please stand up. So we've got to our right is Anthony Ertz from Penn. Anthony, thank you so much. Anthony Ben-Yarko, formerly from New Albany, now at Maryland. Dwight Ertz from Syracuse University. And today's special hero, Tara. I really appreciate it. I gotta tell you folks, I know this looks easy running an event like this, but it's not. With people like this, it makes it seamless and we're able to save lives. And here we are tonight, we're gonna celebrate Jimmy Case, who was our head athletic trainer. And all of his cohorts rose to the occasion today and saved a man's life. So thank you to everybody who was involved in that. Really appreciate it. I also want to thank all of our sponsors. First of all, we've got Great Jones Distilling Company. Thank you so much for being our lead sponsor for the Legends. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I think they have samples around it for the guys who want to try some of that. We've also got True Temper Lacrosse. Thank you so much. You'll notice on each one of the tables there are lacrosse sticks. Those are available. You figure out who gets it. Okay? That's your choice. And then Sky Lacrosse. I also want to thank Sky Lacrosse for making these beautiful Legends Awards. And you wouldn't know it, but this. Can I have your attention, please? If you want to talk, go to the back. Promise me? Okay, this was made by Sky Lacrosse. Sky Lacrosse just had his home burned down with all this stuff in it. He salvaged stuff to make these awards tonight. So where's Cullen? Please stand up. Thank you, Cullen. Just want to quickly introduce my team. Where's the team? Ashley Gersick, my CEO, right here. Thank you, Ashley. Got Blake Shire, registration. Here's Kevin Lavelle, brand manager. Kevin Lavelle, thank you so much. Eric Whitmer. We have incredible people running our specialties. Tom Abbott running men's officials. Where's Tom Abbott? Mara Wager with the women's officials. Mara, is Mara here? Not sure, but thank you, Mara, for all you're doing. So tonight we're gonna look at celebrating tonight some new inductees to our Legends group. I'd like to ask the Legends who are here to kind of stand up so we can recognize you. I'm going to talk names. Please stand up again. Court Kim, Blake Kim, John Morgan. Our original official, John Morgan, please stand up. Okay. Lynn Reitenbach. Lynn Reitenbach. You got to stand up. I can't see you. I know Greg Gephardt's here. Where's Greg? Tom Pillsworth. Thank you, Tom. Anthony Ortolano, our former head trainer. Who are we missing? I can't see you. Who are we missing? Dave Brandt. Stand up. Timmy Scher. You're not in yet, Dave.
Brett Riley.
Brett Riley from Graph Tax. Billy Bergen. Is this anybody else? Don Starzia. So what this has become after 33 years, it's not about lacrosse. Who did I miss? Who? You got Billy Bergen. This is about people. It's not about lacrosse. It just happens to be that we all play lacrosse. And this wonderful people that we've met here for all these years. I tell the story of my good friend Dougie Maynard, who I played with for 20-something years. I went to his memorial service. His best friend was a high school friend of mine. I had no idea. 50 years ago. That's the world we live in here. We live in this little world of playing together and enjoying this time here in this wonderful space. So it's been a great pleasure for me to do that. I'm so excited about tonight's inductees. I also want to recognize a guy who's been really helpful to us this summer. And he's been through some things in his life, but he's doing an amazing job for us. And Find Your Summit, Casey Vaughn. And lows of this. I remember a few years into the event, 5, 10 years into it, we started giving awards, and then somebody might die, and you know it happens in life, and it was sad. Well, now it's become more of a celebration. Right? Realistic in life, this is life. Life is about things. You do things for 30-something years, people are going to come and go. But today, watching everybody respond to that individual being down on the field was just an incredible thing, and that's about going forward and keeping things going. So. With no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Dan. We'll start the inductions. Thank you very much.
Thanks, George. Our first award is the Larry Piatelli Award. It was first presented in 2004, and it's presented in loving memory to a men's official who's been a long-time positive presence wearing the stripes at Lake Placid. The first of our 2022 recipients of the Piatelli Award was introduced to the game of lacrosse while he was an undergraduate at Slippery Rock University. He began his officiating career in 1980, but put that on pause for a few years when a career move took him to St. Louis. He returned to New York in 1987 and joined the Hudson Valley Officials Association. He watched the top officials and learned everything he could. And then in 1997, he moved up to the NCAA ranks. In 2007, he connected with our own legend, John Morgan, and accepted an invitation to come and work in Lake Placid. And since then, the Summit Classic has marked the completion of yet another year of officiating for him. He retired from officiating just this past May and hopes to serve as a mentor to young officials working their own way up. I'm going to have Tom Abbott say a few words, but please help me congratulate Tony Pironti, our first recipient of the Larry Piatelli Award.
Congratulations, big guy.
It's big guy.
The bottom line here is this. I'm going to be really short because this is only about a minute long. Short fits the physique profile of Tony perfectly, so we're all set there. This award, as I said last year, is about people who Larry Piatelli was about what he could do for other folks, for referees, how he could be the best friend, camaraderie, the friendship is what it's all about. It's what we're all about. It's what this place is all about. And Tony is the epitome of that. He is the best guy you could ever have on a referee staff. When Jim Vacco and I do this, Tony will do anything for us to make sure we have fields covered, that we do the right stuff. I play golf with him a bunch of times up here before, as part of our deal when we start this thing. Tony is the best friend you could ever have, and that's what this award's about. And it's about this place. So congratulations, Tony.
I was told by a number of people, I have to get really quick because some people have to go to dinner. I want to thank so many people here, and I could be up here for a long time thanking a lot of people because I never played the game, but I fell in love with it over the years. And I'm going to leave this real quick. There's people in your life that are not here in spirit, and we just talked about that, that possibly lost their life. Think about them as mentors and the spirituality that they left with you. And as I say in all my emails and everything else, just play on. Let's have some fun. Life's not a dress rehearsal. And thank you very much. It's all been great. Thank you.
Why don't you try to do it now? How long did you say?
I was remiss to acknowledge another individual today who was instrumental in saving this man's life. That was our official, name was?
Jim Lafredo.
Jim Lafredo, the official on the field, was the first person to attend to the injured individual, compressed him, and it was not an easy thing to do, and he did an incredible job. So thank you, Jim Lafredo.
Yeah.
And I also want to acknowledge number 2 men's official, Jimmy Vacco, for all of his hard work. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you. The second of our 2 winners of the Larry Piatelli Award started his officiating career with football in 1980, followed by lacrosse in 1984. Within 4 years, he was refereeing the New York State semifinals, and he went on to do 15 more state semifinal games. He moved up to the college ranks and officiated at the NCAA level for 12 years, and even did MLL games the first 4 years of that league's existence. He retired from officiating 2 years ago, and now spends his time working with young referees. Still, he maintains that the highlight of the past 30 years has been coming up here to Lake Placid and working and learning from, in his words, the best officials on the planet. Here to help introduce Chuck Piebes as a 2022 Larry Piatelli Award winner and newest member of our Legends is John Morgan.
Thank you, everybody. There's a John Morgan number 1. John, put your hand down. He's the original legend, so I'm just a local guy. So, again, John Morgan, Chuck Piebes and I, this is very, as George said, it's about people. And Chuck Piebes and I go back. He's a fantastic referee. That's why we're inducting him. But I want to tell you a couple stories about how fantastic an athlete this guy was. 1968, I graduated from Saranac Lake High School. And I went down to Manlius Military Prep School. That was a school where a lot of people like Chuck and I that didn't have good grades in school, they sent us to get our college boards up because we weren't very good students. But we played college football where we played freshman, Syracuse, Cornell, West Point, Buffalo. And 14 of the top kids on our team all had Division I scholarships. Chuck got a Division I scholarship to Purdue. Played quarterback at Purdue as a sophomore. He beat Jim Plunkett in his senior year when Jim Plunkett won the Heisman Trophy. He threw for 280 yards out at Stanford, a couple touchdowns. A couple weeks later, some guy named Walt Patulski from Notre Dame jumped on his shoulder, ended his quarterback career. Next 2 years after that, he went on to become second All-Big Ten safety and the All-Big Ten punter. He was captain of the Purdue team in his senior year. Another thing, he was a spectacular athlete in baseball. And basketball, we also played at Manlius freshman basketball. We played Syracuse freshman one game at Manly Fieldhouse. Some of you can remember that old place. And it was we were the freshman game. Back then there was no freshmen playing on the varsity. And we at the nighttime it was Calvin Murphy and Niagara playing. Calvin was his All-American year. He went on to score 65 or 70 points that night. Chuck scored 44 points in the freshman game, and with 8 seconds to go, the coach called the timeout, and he took me from the end of the bench, and I went in. So that was my claim to fame of playing against Syracuse. Some of you people know this guy, for he's been up for almost 30 years. Very humble athlete, and I've dealt with a lot of athletes around the world in my life. This is one of the most humble people I've ever met. So it's a great pleasure that I introduce my great friend, Charlie Chuck Piebes.
Thank you, John. This I've been coming up here for over 30 years, or just about 30 years, and I feel like I should be giving you guys an award for just allowing me to come here for this many years.
Humble.
It's the first thing I check off of my calendar every summer, where we know, we've got the dates, and this is the first thing that I check off every summer, because this is God's country up here. My good friend last year, and I'll be quick, Tim, because I know you got to get your wife to dinner. But Timmy Shear was talking about last year about the lacrosse family, the lacrosse fraternity, and the people and the friends that we've all made through lacrosse for all these years. And he couldn't be. It's amazing how many good people are in our lives now just because of lacrosse. If you meet somebody for the first time and the word lacrosse comes up, it's like old home week, and it's a special fraternity, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I wasn't a lacrosse player, I was a baseball and football player, but lacrosse won me over a long time ago. And what's nice about an award like this is being in the same group with so many wonderful people that were in before me, and I'm proud to be a member now, and thank you all very much.
Kelly, want to get a picture?
2020 marked the first year of the Paul Rose Award, which is presented to a coach organizer whose dedication and commitment to the tournament goes above and beyond. This year's recipient of the Paul Rose Award started playing the game in junior high school and went on to play at Nazareth College, where his coaching career and his love of coaching began. He credits both Rich Ciccone and Scott Nelson, two people he considers to be the best coaches of all time. With their influence, he learned a love and passion for the game, which motivated him to continue coaching at the junior high, JV, and varsity levels in his hometown of Homer, New York, and helping to create a first and second grade program when his sons were able to play. From the Rochester club team to the Graftex lacrosse family, he's had a hand in putting together and bringing many teams to Lake Placid. His Nazareth Olden Flyers are now a Lake Placid staple. He started the Cold Brook lacrosse program in the youth division when his sons were ready for Placid, and it now continues on the collegiate side. For his years of leadership, coaching, and organizing, please join me in congratulating David Basile as the 2020.
Thank you. I just want to say I promised I won't drop no F-bombs. Lake Placid, as everybody knows, is the mecca of lacrosse for everybody. You know, I think the older I get, the more emotional I get, so bear with me. There's so many people that you got to thank. You know, without George and Rizzuto there, dude, we wouldn't have, or Rizzo, whatever it is. We wouldn't have Lake Placid. And we got Kevin. Without him bringing the tradition forward and carrying it on with everybody he has and the staff, my family vacation wouldn't be here. So, without my wife and my family, none of this would be possible. My Nazareth family. Oh. Yeah, baby. We sure had our ups and downs, but we, without the foundation of our program, my man Scott and Nelson, none of this would be possible. Growing up, I learned how to be I don't know, you can call it a pain in the ass or whatever you want. I'm very boisterous at certain times. I get more boisterous when I have a few pops at me. But I got to thank my Homer family, my Nazareth family, and everybody else that came to see me today. I love y'all.
Great job, Dave. The Travis Solomon Award was first presented in 2010, presented in memory of a player participant who's demonstrated not only great skills, but also traditional, respectful approach for the game. This year's winner of the Travis Solomon Award was introduced to lacrosse by Paul Rose while at Cortland State in 1963. Following a successful college career, he played professionally for the Syracuse Stingers in 1974, the inaugural year of the NLL. He started his coaching career at Binghamton High School in 1973 and soon found his way to the campus of RPI, where he served as head coach for 12 years, from 75 to 87. It was when he came to the Albany area that he met George Lavelle. So at this time, I'd like George to finish introducing Ken Fougnier as this year's winner of the Travis Solomon Award.
All right, as Dave said, things might get a little emotional tonight, guys. Kenny was nominated by our good friend Artie Waugh, who we lost a few months ago. And we began way back when in Albany in the 70s, and Kenny was an incredible player, just an incredible player. Everybody talked about and knew about. So somehow, some way, we were able to merge our teams so that I could play with Kenny. And I went from being a face-off mini to an attackman, and had the pleasure of finding ball on my stick a lot when I even wasn't looking sometimes. And just the chance to play with Kenny was just an incredible opportunity for me for many, many years. I've never seen a person set up his pass or shot the way this guy does. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then we had a thing where he would look at me, and I'd look at him, and that meant in about 10 seconds when he wasn't looking at me, a ball was going to come towards my face. And we just had this thing where I learned how to play the game from him, and he made me a much better than average player, which I was. So the ability to play with this guy and learn from him. So tonight we had a 70 game, which he was able to play in. If we had a 75 game tonight, he would have been able to play in that. The fact that we had a 78 game tonight, he would have been able to play in that. Come on! 78! But to Kenny's credit, he only scored 5 goals in the 70 and over game. So I just want to say that, again, the losses, the wins, the positives, the negatives, we keep moving on. And our good friend Artie said, you know what, we used to say you had to stop playing before you could become a legend. Well, he's ready, okay? It's time. So I'm just so happy to be able to do this, and I just want to say that it's just been a wonderful experience to be able to play alongside this guy, and I'm just so happy that we can finally make Kenny the legend that he is.
I don't know what to say after that. Thank you, George. It was a pleasure playing with you. But my career started a long time ago at Cortland State. And one of my best friends, Paul Rose, got me into lacrosse 59 years ago. And now I guess I'm following him again as a Lake Placid legend. And it's quite an honor. And I'm also following a bunch of players that are Lake Placid legends already. And one, of course, is Paul Rose, Danny Spillett, Doug Maynard, Anthony Ortolano, Tom Pillsworth. Let's see, who else? Well, either way, they're all legends, and I get to follow them. I appreciate that. So, coming here to speak with all of you people, I really feel like a 78-year-old today playing lacrosse in the heat. It was really hot today, and when it was over, I didn't think I could come up here and talk. So. You know, this has been a long journey for me, about 60 years playing lacrosse, and it's coming up here for 31 years and having a great time and doing what I love to do. And I really have to say thank you to my teammates, and that's the Cloud Splitters. I had a great career with them, and I hope it's going to go on longer. I'm not sure, but I don't know how many Lake Placids I have left, but I'll always remember this one. Thank you very much.
Before we move on to our final inductee, I just want to take 1 second to thank someone who has really made all of this possible for the last 33 years. It's my wife, Nancy. Will you please stand up. I usually tell people this little story that we've been happily married for 40 years of the 45. But she's not close enough to punch me. So I just want to thank Nancy and my sons, of course, who weren't so inconvenienced by all of this, but my wife for all these years that this has been carved out, and hopefully there's many more to come. So thank you.
Okay, and finally, the Tom Pillsworth Award was first presented in 2010, recognizing a staff member who has provided his or her service to the Lake Placid Summit Lacrosse Tournament over the course of many years. The 2022 recipient of this award is Jim Case, who passed away suddenly in March of 2020. Here to talk about Jim is Lake Placid legend, Anthony Ortolano.
Thank you very much. And the first thing I'd like to do is welcome Ladine, Devin, Carson, and Colin back to Lake Placid. I know how hard it was to make that trip. And one of the things I said to myself, because I'm a fairly emotional dude, was that I was really going to try to hold it together. So I'm really going to try to hold it together. So before I start, I want to say Kenny Fougnier was the head lacrosse coach the first year I took the job at RPI. And Marty Rudless was his assistant. And for the time we were together, I have to say it was one of the most unique settings I've ever been in my entire life. Kenny was an outstanding coach. Marty was an unbelievable assistant. And I got to watch. And it was truly an interesting endeavor. But having the opportunity to later play with you guys was one of the great honors that I've had as a lacrosse person. And I want to say thank you right now to Kenny. And you being inducted as a legend is truly well deserved. So let's get back to the real issue. When I took this, the opportunity, George gave me the chance to be an athletic trainer here at Lake Placid. It was a little tournament, and it started to get big really quick. And I knew that the tournament was growing to the point where we were getting really quality athletes. And I knew that if I was going to represent the tournament the way it had to be, that I had to get athletic trainers that were at the same level as the level of athletes that we were getting here. And the first thing I did was try to get the best athletic trainers I could get to come to Lake Placid. And in those days, it wasn't easy because we didn't have a housing allowance. We didn't have a meal allowance. So we camped. My first year, I slept in the back of a pickup truck.
On the field.
Actually, right over there. Because I wanted to actually try to come back with some money, because I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together as the head trainer at RPI. But I knew that I had to get quality people. So I went to Jimmy Case. And at the time, Jimmy was a world team trainer. I mean, Jimmy has 2 world championship rings. I got George O'Neill, the head athletic trainer at Princeton, 2 world championship rings. Troy Girls, 2 world championship rings. Excuse me, 3. But you reach a point where you say, if we're going to have a quality program, we have to have quality people, and that's why I got Jimmy. But Jimmy was so unique. He was unique in that him coming here was a burden. I mean, in the early years, he left the kids, he left Ladine. It was a burden. But once he got here, it was like nuts. He was the only athletic trainer I've ever dealt with on a daily basis that could trade stories with me beat for beat. I mean, there were times when the Cornell guys would pull in, and I would be taping, and I'd look up, and I'd tape 4 people, and Jimmy was holding court. And I'm like, Jim, hey, tape somebody, buddy. You know, give an old guy give a brother a hand here. But it was a family atmosphere. And then as we grew, and as the program got bigger and better, and the training staff got bigger and better, we had an opportunity to bring our kids. I brought my son, and my daughters played here, and Jimmy brought his sons, and it was such a unique thing to be part of it, to have my wife cooking meals for the trainers, to have Ladine taco night. Yeah, that was something we all, taco night was a big thing, but it was just a family atmosphere. And Jimmy gave us the opportunity to just be a group that could chill and have a beer. And one of the things I mentioned to the Case family was that one of the last texts I got from Jimmy was just a picture of Southern Tier bourbon. You got to try it. And that was Jimmy. He was an unbelievable athletic trainer. Technically, unbelievably sound. I never had an issue with trust with any of my people, but I certainly didn't have it with Jimmy. And when I decided that it was time for me to freaking pack my bags and actually go on vacation and come here and test the new bourbon for real, it was an easy decision for me to say, Jimmy's the guy to take the reins. And I know it was a good decision on my part, and I think it was a good decision for Jimmy and the Case family, but to be a part of it and to be with him for as long as we were together was truly an honor for me. And when you work with people, you have friends, and then you have people you love. Love. Thank you.
Here to accept Jim's 2022 Legends Award is his family, Ladine, daughter Devin, and sons Colin Carson. Please join me in thanking the Case family as we honor and remember Jim for his years of dedication to our Summit Classic tournament. And say a few words is Carson.
I want to start by saying it's an honor to be here and accept this on behalf of my dad. Every year, Lake Placid was the highlight of his summer. He helped so many athletes while he was here, and if you were one of them, he probably made a few jokes at your expense, but everyone got the care that they needed, and he always made sure everyone was taken care of. Aside from working the trainer's tent, he loved to come up and just spend time with the lacrosse community. The connections he made here were incredible. There was tournament directors, officials, the other athletic trainers, players, coaches, Cornell alumni, and several others that he just met through his journey coming up here every year. Lake Placid was a really special place for my dad, and I'm grateful for all the weeks that I got to spend here with him. If he were here, he'd just tell everyone, keep coming up and enjoy every minute that you have here. I want to thank Ort for his kind words tonight and all the support he's given us the past couple of years. Thanks to everyone else who's reached out since my dad's passing. And especially thank you to Summit Lacrosse for honoring him tonight with this award. Thank you.
So we're at that point in the program where there's nothing left to say, and I'm up here to say it. First of all, again, I want to thank everybody tonight for being part of this. I want to thank all of you for your donations. We're really trying to focus now on working the Legends Group towards supporting community organizations here in town. There are a lot of needs here. There's certainly a lot of wealth and things, but there's also a lot of people here that work hard and scrape by day to day. So we're really engaged in community organizations, and everything you contribute really helps us towards that. So thank you all. We really appreciate that. I want to thank again our sponsors. I think we're going to continue to party here, stay a little bit while. We'll have the Legends come up, get some photos taken, continue to stay, enjoy some drinks. Please try some of the products that are here for you. Thank you to, again, our sponsors, Great Jones Bourbon and others. True Temper. Work on who gets the stick on your table. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and thank you all for being here.